Hello, and welcome to this very special edition of Awaken and Ascend. I am Jennifer Regular, and I am here today with Dr. Kimberley Linert, who uses light, energy, and color to heal and transform the world. How? By helping you tap into and expanding your possibilities for your life and seeing what's possible, what visions you can expand into, and making sure that you have the impact that you are here to make by being a full expression of who you truly are. Dr. Kimberley, it is so wonderful having you here. I'm so excited for our conversation today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here too and just share with your audience. And I hope I can be an inspiration and a light.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here for, right? To share that light and that love globally.
Mhm.
So what got you inspired on this path, though? Because not everyone has the courage to be able to do that and do that fully. There's sometimes a lot of backlash that happens, or people who have different views about how we're sharing that light. So, what gave you the courage to come into this work?
Well, I think it actually started out with real life issues. And it started out in the natural medicine space, if you will. So my background is in behavioral optometry. And so behavioral optometrists have therapy centers. We work with people with brain injuries or with athletes, people from different walks of life, depending on what they need. So that's already kind of a different path than just your regular eye doctor path, if you will. But then when I had children, my middle child had some health issues where her nose was running all the time and I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, it was she was allergic to a bunch of stuff. So we found out what it was. And that kind of started my path on, natural medicine and finding alternative and different creative ways for healing. So I'm really all about healing and when I started doing behavioral optometry, I also started something called syntonic therapy, which is using colored light to heal different things in the body and in the emotions. It's very powerful for the emotions using different frequencies of light. And so that's where it all started. First of all, being creative to help patients, but then being creative to help my own family and myself.
Absolutely. And creativity is such a great skill to have to be able to develop and expand into those possibilities. What else is possible for healing, for being able to navigate life in a different way and be able to experiment with different ways of being and doing and experiencing life in the world. And so, what have you discovered, especially as it relates to emotions, when you were using the light and the color and the energy?
Well, some people will be um, experienced with this, but a lot of people aren't. We're looking at frequencies, really. So some frequencies have color and some frequencies don't. So I have like a far infrared sauna and it has heat, but it has no color. And that's
Mm.
very healing. But when it comes to frequencies, different frequencies can change where you are on the spectrum as far as from parasympathetic to sympathetic. In English, from relaxation to more tight or um, more stressed out, if you will. And so everybody has different personalities, and you're somewhere on that scale. A lot of people are in the type A personality, so we would take colors like blue and indigo and purple and give it to them to calm their system and to bring them closer to the middle of the color spectrum. If you think of the color spectrum, dark blues, purples on one end, red on the other, green and yellow in the middle. So we want to bring everybody towards the middle. So those stress people, we give them blues and turquoises and then some turquoise and maybe green and get them in the middle. And people who are have you ever seen, especially this is evident with children because they don't have social skills yet, a kid that it just looks like when he sits in a chair, he looks like a slug, like he just like melts into the chair and you ask
Mm.
him to move and this kid just he was like a sloth. He just hardly moves. That's a low-toned person. They don't have a lot of energy and things like that. Those
Oh.
people, we would give them red and orange because they need some energizing. So we give them red and orange and then some green to bring them to the center because the green, lime green, yellow, it's all for clearing, cleansing, detoxifying. And you want to go more towards that center. So depending on where you start, that's how we would use the color.
Well, it's amazing how that color can really bring us into inner and outer harmony and
Mhm.
help soothe our nervous system, which I know a lot of our audience tend to be purpose driven and high achieving and enthusiastic, multi passionate, type A personalities, as you call them. And there's also ones that are also healers, and you tend to think that they're grounded and or some would say they're flighty and never down to earth. And so we do need all of those elements, all of our colors in balance to really be able to support the kind of impact that we want to have in the world, and also how we're living in the world and how we're taking everything in. Because we do have so much stimulation that's coming at us all the time, both internally and externally. And quite frankly, our nervous systems aren't built for this kind of society. I don't think our nervous systems have developed in the same way that consciousness or technology has to be able to keep up and support us. And that's why we see so much illness and disruption to our internal systems, right? And even our external systems that were so much out of balance. There's a lot of chaos and confusion. So it's beautiful to have this way to bring it into balance, to get a set point where we can actually function more coherently, wouldn't you say?
Just feel
So,
better. I talk a lot about life being a sine wave and, a wave that goes up and down over a median line. You don't want your sine wave to be way up here and way down here and way up here and way down here and way up because it's very stressful, it's very
right.
exhausting. But if
Mm.
we can get our sine wave so we feel the highs and enjoy them, and we feel the lows and experience them and learn from them and feel the highs, but not going hysterical up here and and going into depression or low down here. So we want to just keep close to that. And we can do that by staying in that kind of balance. I don't really agree with the word balance because I think we're always moving. We're either
Exactly.
heading
It's true.
going in one direction or the other. We're never like stable.
It's absolutely true. Like a second later, we can be out of balance again. And I think maybe a better word for it would be to harmonize or to be in alignment, right? And to be able to coordinate all the different parts and areas of our life in a way that really supports us living life fully and how to be a full expression of who we are within that.
Um, so, we're talking about people who are, high energy, wanting to get things done, things like that. So first of all, I have to speak to you want to take your time to do your meditation, your calmness, your relaxation to get that peace there. But when it comes to vision, which is my area,
Mm-hmm.
one really important thing you can do that calms your system right away, helps you get focused, and allows you to see possibilities is getting your central and your peripheral vision to work together. And
Oh,
that can just
okay.
take a few minutes.
Hmm.
And if I can just take you through something really quickly,
That
that's
would
all
be
right.
fantastic. Yeah, thank
So
you.
if people can do this now, if not, they can do it when they're not looking at their computer. But you find something across the room that's has a little bit of detail, like a sign or a
Okay.
picture or something, and you
Okay.
make it as clear as you can. In fact, make it so clear that even the room seems to disappear because you're just so focused on it. And while you're doing that, notice, are you breathing? Are you tight or are you relaxed? Because you're probably tightened up because you're focused really strong,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Now relax, clear the screen, stop that for a second. Now we're gonna do the opposite.
Okay.
So I want you to, if you can, stand up. If we're in front of the computer right now, but if
Okay.
you can
Mm-hmm.
stand up, and so you're equally on both feet with your feet a little bit distance apart, so you're very balanced. Put your hands down so you're not balancing on your chair. There you go. Okay. And now what I want you to do is notice as much of the room as you can. Notice on both sides of you, the ceiling, the floor behind you. They say teachers and parents have eyes in the back of their head. So as much as you can see around you,
Okay. Like while still
focus
looking
on.
straight ahead, but seeing?
Yeah, not yep, by
Okay.
looking, just looking
Okay.
straight ahead, but you're not really focusing, you're just noticing as much
Yeah.
as you can. You see how the
Mm-hmm.
room expands?
Oh, yeah.
Do you notice that maybe you're breathing and relaxing a little bit more now?
Hmm.
So your peripheral vision is for your balance. It's like the tent pegs that hold a tent up. So if you don't have your peripheral vision on, then you're going to fall over. The other thing about peripheral vision is now you can see everything in the room. You can see all the different possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Now go back to central vision again. Focus
Okay.
really strongly on that item you were looking at. Make it
Okay.
super clear. Your central vision is for identifying and focusing and clarifying things. So you got that really strong focus there. Think of that as your goal. This is your goal in life. You want to pick one, just your goal in life, and you're focusing really strongly on it. Now, keep that focus as strong as you can. Now, open up your peripheral vision while you're keeping that clear. That feels different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now you're breathing, you're still focused, but you're not like tight, like, oh, I gotta get this. You're focused, but you're seeing more. And so when you think of it that is all the different roads you can go. Because if you're just focused on something, there might be a mountain or something in your way, right? Something blocking. But
Hmm.
if you open up your peripheral vision, you can see all the different possibilities. So you might see there's a road over here, there's a plane over here to get to your goal, but you couldn't see that when you're just really focused. So you got to open up your vision while focusing. Now, if you just opened up your vision, but you didn't focus, those are the people that are they're, shiny object, squirrel. So you got to have them both working together. But if you just take a minute and do that, it's really helpful. In fact, if you open up your front door and look out into the outside, it's even better because you have more space.
Yes, absolutely. And I find I need to physically do that sometimes too, to unburden in a sense. So to me, it sounds like we're zooming out to zoom in,
Mm-hmm.
seeing the
We're
bigger picture first, and then coming in, and then, yeah, those that are in to zoom out and, yeah, be able to widen our view
Right. Yeah.
and
People
still be
have
able to
best
focus.
vision. Yeah. Have use
Yeah.
both at the same time. But in our
Mm.
society, what are we doing all the time? Focus, focus, focus in this little square.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's so true.
And
So
we wonder why
true.
we don't feel good.
No, and quite often people are focusing, on their phones or on the ground and not really even looking up, right? Never mind all around.
Mhm.
Yeah, so true. That was such a helpful exercise. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dr.
You're
Kimberly.
welcome.
Yeah. And is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
Just talking about life in general,
Mm-hmm.
talking about light. Now, I know there's people on here from all different cultures, all different religions, but I think in order to have a beautiful, healthy, happy, joyful life, you need that spiritual peace. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
personally am a Christian, and my goal is to shine my light all around so that people are attracted to me and attracted to, Jesus, my who is my Lord. But, you know, you want to be the light wherever you are. So that spiritual peace is really important. It's really hard to be the light because if you don't have a source, you've got to have
Mm-hmm.
a source.
Absolutely.
That source is coming from above. Our cells are made out of light, we're made out of light, but we still need a source. And we're going to run out of our light if we don't have a source continuously feeding us. And from that source, we continuously share light and love with the world.
Absolutely. Keep radiating your light, Dr. Kimberly. Really feel that from you. And a friend of mine, Malia Helson, many years ago, a soul-centered astrologer, she shared with me an acronym for light, which I still carry to this day, so that it was so profound. And that is living in God's highest truth.
Mm, I love that.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. And then what if people have questions or they want to be able to have a nice conversation with you? Do you have a website or another way they can contact you?
I have a website, but it's not a very good website, honestly. It needs to be fixed. But I mean, the best way really is I'm usually on Facebook and LinkedIn. So just
Okay.
connect with me there. That would be the best way.
Perfect. All right. And we'll have those links, of course, in the video description below, along with a full profile of who Dr. Kimberley Linert is. So you'll see that and her mission, the links to connect. And of course, my information is down there as well. Would love to see your comments and questions. We do look at those. So feel free to keep this conversation going. And like this video and share if you enjoyed it, especially the practice that Dr. Kimberley took us through. Very valuable experience. Really appreciate that. And any final words now, Dr. Kimberley?
The same words I leave with everybody. Love yourself first, and then love others, and listen to your heart and follow your heart and share your gifts with the world.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, each and every one of you, have been listening and watching today on Awaken and Ascend. I'm Jennifer Regular, and we'll see you again next week. Bye for now.